What's up, guys? So they changed Classic 10 and I've been loving it. I've been using Zico and he's playing amazing. So we're going to look at the Classic 10 nominating contracts in case you don't have a player like Zico. Maradona, the daily game, was a Classic 10. He was also good. I used him. So getting straight into the players. These are nominating contracts, so you don't need coins. If you don't know where to get nominating contracts, you can get them from the match pass. Alright, starting off. So the only one I've got at the moment is Ganso. I'm going to get the other ones. I just need to get the nominating contracts. But in terms of how I would level them, this is how I do it. So Ganso, here's the auto allocate. I wouldn't deviate too much from it. In terms of what I would deviate though, I would just get the dribbling down to 8. You get a lot more points back, and then you can put his finishing up to 7. In terms of his dexterity, you don't. He's already too low. His stats, I wouldn't worry about trying to compensate. So I would honestly put his balance down to like 75. Now this might sound contradictory, but it's not, because he's slow. I'm still going to put lower body strength in. It's not because of his speed, it's just for his kick and power. So you can go like high with it. You can go up to 87 kick and power. That'll make his shooting a lot better and his passing. I wouldn't go up to 87. I would try get his finishing to 80 and then his kick and power to 84. You could do this though. You could go to 90 curl and then just 1 into kick and power. I wouldn't recommend that. Just because kick and power is really important to passing. So I would just go 80 finishing and then 84 kick and power. And if you've been watching my videos, you know 84 is the level that I think the stats need to be at to be consistently good. So yeah, then you've also got an extra point. You can probably put it into aerial strength, maybe defending. I mean, he's not going to defend too much. And part of the changes of Classic 10 is they're basically a counter target. They don't help out in defense unless you do second man press. So it's actually really effective, and it helps with their stamina too. Their stamina doesn't seem to go down much, so don't worry about the low stamina on Ganso or any of the players in this pack. So yeah, this is the build I'd go for. In terms of skills, probably long range curler. Well, actually, definitely long range curler because he does have the soul control, so you can do a knock on finesse with him with that curl, decent finishing, okay, kick and power. Yeah, he'll be good. In terms of other skills, I probably wouldn't invest skills in him. You wouldn't use this guy in your main team, but he'd be really good for the Brazilian events, in the challenge events, if they bring them back soon. Okay, Gundogan. Now, this guy does look interesting. I think he might be the best of the pack. A lot of people are saying Odegaard. I think it might be Gundogan. In terms of his build, I would probably go 1 less on dribbling and then 1 more on shooting, just because you'll get a finish to 80 that way. And I know you're going from 90 to 89 dribbling, but the dribbling stat itself won't be too necessary for a guy like Gundogan because he's not that fast. Because dribbling is how fast you run with the ball. Tight possession and ball control is your first touch for ball control, and then tight possession, your left stick dribbling, weaving in and out of players. And a Classic 10 is someone who it shouldn't be doing much running. They usually find themselves in between the pockets. I'll be explaining this in the Classic 10 explanation video. They look to find themselves in between the defenders and midfield, and there's not enough space to run in there. So don't worry about the dribbling stat. Just get the ball control and tight possession up. And then you do have an extra point. Probably just put it into physical. You can't put it into lower body or any other stat. So you can go defending or physical. I would go physical just because we said the Classic 10s don't help out on defense too much. In terms of what skills Gundogan has, first off, he does have high weak foot, so that's good. In terms of his skills, he has double touch, cut behind, soul control, long range curler. Looking good so far. Heel trick, 1 touch pass, true pass, weighted pass, and outside curler. Looking very good. In terms of skills, I'd give him probably go for the flip flap, get the level 3 double touch. He probably does need a long range shooting. With the build I gave, he's gonna have okay finishing and not great kick and power. So there is, maybe you're considering, okay, he doesn't have the kick and power, don't put the long range shooting in, but just because of the fact that he doesn't have, or he has a lot of good skills, what else are you gonna put on him? You might throw that in. So flip flap 100%. Maybe a gamesmanship, help win the fouls. He's got good dribbling. Maybe I don't know about interception. I would have recommended it before. Because the Classic 10s used to help out in defense. I haven't played enough. I've played about 15, 20 games, about say 18 with them with a Classic 10, with Zico without interception. I haven't played enough to know if interception would be good. Might be worth a shot. In terms of other skills, he's probably fine with flip flap and gamesmanship. He's not like an elite tier player. You probably don't want to invest too many skills in him. Oh, in terms of the position, sorry, I'll move my webcam. You could probably see it on the other screen anyway, but yeah, you can play AMF, CMF, and DMF, and that's also probably why I would put the excuse me, with the webcam. Probably why I put the interception on, because you're not forced to use him AMF. You could use him CMF or DMF. And by the way, Classic 10 used to be active as CMF. It's only active at AMF and SS now. So he's got the half proficiency on the SS. I don't think he has the finishing to play up there though. But yeah, he's pretty good. That's why I think he's probably the most valuable, just because of his positions. He can play DMF and CMF too. Right, next player, Joao Mario. He's not the greatest, to be honest. He is very well rounded though. To be fair, you can see his positions, and when you look at his stats level up, you can see like that he will be pretty well rounded. I don't think he'll be good enough though to play AMF. Especially because if you're going for the 5-star players, you'll have your Classic 10 sorted anyway. He is a 4-star, to be fair, but they don't do Portuguese League events. They do Brazilian League, but not Portuguese League. So if you're only going to choose between Joao Mario and Ganso, I would go with Ganso, just for the fact you can use them in the events. So his card leveled up. This is the auto allocate. You see it, he's pretty well rounded. But he's well rounded, but he's not great at anything. Like Gundogan's more well rounded and better at pretty much, I'd say, every stat. Actually, I think Gundogan's better at every stat. Maybe not at defending, but this one, Joao Mario can't play DMF, so not the greatest. So if I was to use him, I'd be using him as left mid or right mid as a wing back. But he's not Classic 10 then, so you'll have better players to use. So yeah, I wouldn't be going for Joao Mario. Right, next player we'll look at is Odegaard. So let me look at him in game first. So yeah, Odegaard, this is the guy most people are saying is the best. I've used a few different versions. I've used his orchestrator, and I used I think it was probably a creative playmaker. But I like the orchestrator one. His passing felt very good, so we'll see his stats leveled up now, if that will be replicated. So if I go on to auto allocate, this is his stats. I don't think his passing will be as good as the version I used. Let me show you the version I used. So this is the version I used, and look at his passing. 98 low pass. Obviously, this is a lot better, but it's not the low pass, particularly, that I'm looking at, that makes me think the new version won't be as good. It's the kick and power. Look, 81 kick and power versus 89. So yeah, this new Odegaard won't be as good. If you have this version, I would stick to this version. I know the new one's a Classic 10, but I don't think this one will be as this new one will be as good. So in terms of the build, I would go. You know, he's still not a bad player. Don't get me wrong. He's still not a bad player. In terms of the build, I would go 2 less on dribbling, get his finishing to 80, because the Classic 10s will get involved in kind of shooting situations, and then you can go 1 more into the speed for kick and power. In terms of the skills, he doesn't have weighted pass. I think all the other ones do have weighted pass. So this one, on top of the kick and power and the low pass compared to his orchestrator, this one will feel like he has worse passing. So you'd probably put weighted pass on him. In terms of other skills, you could probably do with a double touch or a scissors feint. I'd probably go for double touch, but the problem is, if you want to do the knock on finesse with him, because he does have very good curl. So the build I gave had 88 curl. That's really good. If you want to do the knock on finesse, you're going to need to get long range curler on him, and you're going to need to get soul control on him. So it's a lot of it's a very big investment to make this Odegaard good. So this is why I think he isn't the best. He has no look pass. A lot of people recommend that. I've never really noticed it's being good. He has outside curler, so that's good, because he only has the medium weak foot, and the high curl will make that a lot better. But yeah, in terms of Odegaard, yeah, I wouldn't be too fussed about him. And then if it's not Gundogan the best in the pack, I think it's this guy. So Dybala, he's always been very good in this game. If you have used Kubo or Kulusevski or the 2009 Messi, you will notice there's a different kind of animation for finesse shots that some players have. I don't know what has to happen for them to get this animation, but some players have it, and Dybala's cards always have it. So he's very good at cutting inside onto his left foot and hitting a finesse shot. In terms of his auto allocate, here it is. It looks decent. I would change it a little bit. I would take off 1 dribbling, so you can still keep the tight possession at 90. And then in terms of the other stats, get his kick and power. So we have to take off something else first. So yeah, in terms of the build I would go with, I would take off a bit of the dribbling, keep it at 90 tight possession, and then take off 1 shooting. His curl will still be 90 and his finish will still be 84, so that's the good number you're looking for. The reason you're doing that is so you can put points into lower body strength and get that to 84. And then you'll have a point extra. You can't put it into passing. I'd probably just put it into physical, and defending is not going to be useful for Dybala. So he might be someone that you play SX instead of AMF. The other ones I'd all recommend the AMF, but Dybala might be the one that you play at SS. In terms of his skills, he's got some good ones. He's got double touch, Marseille turn, sombrero, not that useful to be honest. Long range curler, chip shot control. I think a Dominator said in one of his videos that chip shot control helps with chip through balls, and I don't have an opinion on it really. But I remember when I heard that I then did a chip pass with Snyder, and I have chip shot control on him, and it looked he kind of like scooped the ball. So there might be some truth to what that statement. He has heel trick, first time shot, outside curler, and gamesmanship. So missing one very very important skill, and that's true passing. As an AMF, Classic 10 he 100% needs it. As an SS, he needs it pretty much just as much. So if you're gonna go for Dybala, it's definitely gonna be a player that you're gonna have to invest skills in. So in terms of the skills I put in, true pass and 100%. If you're not gonna put true pass on him, don't spin from or don't open him with the nominating contract. After that, probably do soul control for the knock on because his finesse shots are really good. He's got that animation. After that, you can probably put the flip flop on him too. Make that good, and then you can go with weighted pass. The other ones mostly have it. It'll make his true passes good. If you don't have a true pass and you could put the weighted pass on in the interim, it kind of does help. I have it on Baggio, I think, or no, not Baggio. Which player was it? There was some player I have it on who doesn't have true passing, but he does have weighted pass, and their passing still feels good. So weighted pass can kind of mask the lack of true passing for a little bit, but long term you do want to put the true pass on. In terms of other skills, you could consider long range shooting or scissors feint. I wouldn't. But yeah, I'd maybe one touch pass. I don't think one touch pass is too important for your forward players. I think it's more important for your DMF and centre backs. The reason for that is I think if you most of your first touch passes in the final third should be a 1-2 pass, L1X. I feel like the game makes those passes more accurate. So I feel like you don't need the skill. So yeah, in terms of the overall pack, I think Gundogan's the best. Obviously I've explained my reasons. Second, Dybala, then Odegaard, then Ganso for the events, and then Joao Mario is probably just a skip unless you're a Benfica fan. But yeah, that's the end of the video. So I'm going to be doing an explanation on Classic 10s and what's different about them. So if you want to see that, keep posted and subscribe, and it'll be up soon. All right, thank you. Bye.